All right. Good morning, y'all. It is October 19th. We have a lovely guest speaker today. And so Amy and I have known each other for probably about a year or so. When did we first meet, Amy? Was it, I can't even remember. Um, the cruise. Yeah, the cruise. So we hung out on the cruise. And saw each other at Summit this year, and then we both were on the Diamond Retreat this fall for Forever Fit, and we're roommates, and just really got a chance to kind of chat and spend some time together, and have a lot of fun at the retreat that weekend. It was lovely, and then we ended the weekend with going to Elevation Church, and it was a really, really wonderful weekend. So we've kind of been chatting a little bit here and there since, with some, ideas and stuff on team growth and business growth, and just, kind of collaborating a little bit. So she is going to just share all kinds of goodies today with all of us about inviting. So Amy's been you've been a coach for like 2 years, 3 years. 2 years. And she is a lifetime 2-star. She is a dog mama. Her husband is a lineman, and she just recently retired from her nursing profession to coach full-time. So anyway, I will turn it over to you, Amy, and we are glad to have you. Welcome.
Yay, you guys can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the intro. I know this is so funny. Like, this is cool. Yeah, Ashley and I really didn't meet that long ago, but it's been so fun to be able to just sort of, like, I think from early on, I think it was apparent that we just kind of like we're in the same mindset about everything. We have a lot in common. So I was so happy that I got to room with her at that retreat. So I'm excited to share with you guys today. So I'm going to talk to you guys about becoming a ninja inviter. And this is sort of like, I wanted to give you guys this visual of being a ninja, because the thing about inviting is that there really is no secret sauce. There really is no one size fits all, and you have to be flexible, you have to be resilient, you have to be just very relentless in your inviting process, because it's always going to be changing, and you're always going to need to switch it up in accordance to what's kind of going on with your business, with in your life right now, with your audience. Okay, so let me get this in presentation mode. So I'm really going to just hopefully give you guys some like tangible takeaways today to really start applying, or maybe there's stuff in here that you already are applying, but maybe it's just like little subtle tweaks, or maybe it's all in the mindset. So that's my goal today, is sort of to touch on each of those areas. So just some rules to live by, okay? And I know you've heard this a million times, but consistency, you guys, is literally everything. And when I mean consistency, I mean that like every single day you should be doing follow-ups or invites, or, new connections, new invites. I am one of those people that they are one and the same to me. I count a follow-up as a re-invite. And so when you hear me, or when I say how many invites I do a day, which I aim to do about 20, 25 a day, that could be follow-ups, that could be new invites, or that could be a combination. But I do that Monday through Sunday, you guys. And I started doing that probably about a year ago. And I haven't, because what I started to realize, you guys, is like, if you start to give yourself those off days, and this maybe is a personality thing, but I just realized like the more consistent I was with it, the more fluid it became, and the more a part of my daily life it just was. Okay. So that is my number one tip, is just to make consistency your ultimate goal. Okay. The other thing that's been huge and is huge to this day, and this is probably the key to everything, is your energy, you guys. Like, whatever your energy is, good or bad, that it comes through, and I can't explain it. It's just one of those things that, like, when you it's almost like you can't fake it till you make it. Like, we can continue. That's why it's really truly important for you to be authentic and for your invites to match whatever is going on in your life. If you are in this state where you're going through a lot of changes, for example, like I have 2 house showings right after this call, and so I'm in this state in my life where I feel kind of flustered. I feel kind of all over the place. There's a lot going on. My invites sort of are reflecting that. That's sort of the way that I'm engaging in my invites, is the fact that, like, sorry, my dog just almost knocked over the lamp. I am coming into them like not just like rear and ready to go, in the sense like I have like I normally am. I'm sort of like coming in to my people like, I feel you. I get it. It's crazy right now. Like, and I'm sort of playing on that. I'm playing on the fact that I'm in this busy time. And so I'm not trying to fake something that I'm not. Okay. But the other side of that too is, you guys, like, I think what a lot of my coaches tend to do this a lot is that they just start to say like, well, nobody's responding. It's not working. What I'm sending, nobody's like getting back to me. And like, my answer to that always is like, if it's not working, tweak something. So for example, it's like, all right, so one day maybe I sent like 20 invites, to people, and I maybe got a couple responses, but hardly anything, right? Or maybe people are reading my messages, but they're not really responding to me. What I'll then go do is, maybe I'll do one of 2 things. It's either I'll go and respond to them like with, voice message, or maybe a video message. Like, I switch it up. It's not like I'm changing the message in which I'm saying, I just change how I say it. So I might just go like voice message them something short and sweet, and just like, boom, 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 boom. Nothing crazy. Just being like, hey, like, I just wanted to touch back. Like, I know it's really weird to like meet people on social media, but if you have any questions, just like, let me know. And I'll do that. And sometimes it's that ends up getting people to finally open up to me. Or if you've never done video message, and I know this is super scary, and it was when I first did it too, but you can like just record one video, you guys. You can record one video, and you can make it, you don't have to use specific names, but you can just like do one video, and it's you, and they can see your awkwardness. They can see your real lifeness. If you've got people in the background, noise in the background, they see you, they feel your energy, and then you can just send that to people. And again, it's one of those things, you never know what's going to connect. Okay. But then there's other things I do, like, you've got those people that are reading your messages, not responding, but they're on your stories every day and they're liking your posts. Sometimes if I see those people on my stories, I'll send them a freaking dancing woman emoji. Like, I don't even care. Like, I just don't care, because at that point I see them. I know they're there. I know they're reading my stuff. I know they know what I'm about. They're probably just scared. So if I can get them to sort of like laugh or do something like stupid and ironic like that, like just send them like whatever. If you're a gift person, send a gift. Like, whatever your personality is. Like, honestly, you guys, I think sometimes we overthink it, because like, I have nothing to lose. Whether they say yes, no, whatever, like, I'm here to find my people. And the faster that I can find out if someone's not my person, the better, right? So sometimes I'll do that, right? And then that sometimes still won't work. And then if you're really getting in your head about it, you guys, like, if you, sometimes I will go completely off of Instagram and I'll go over to Facebook. So one day I'll just like focus on Facebook. I'll go and I'll invite or follow up, go like deep into my message box or message thread, and I will just follow up with people just to get myself out of this headspace of like, this isn't working. I try not to ever go there. I just always try to keep switching it up and tweaking it a little bit and trying different things. All right. So that's part of that relentless mindset, is like, I'm not going to just say this isn't working. I'm going to try something different. Okay. So my next point with that is like, you've also got to like adopt the mindset that there is no other option. Like, I was just talking about this with some of my coaches, is like, if you're in this, you guys, like, there really is no tiptoeing. If you are a working coach, you really truly have to just be all in. There is no plan B. This is plan A. And that doesn't even matter like what your goals are as far as like how high up you want to get or how much money you want to earn and all these things. It's just one of those commitments. Like, there are people going to be following you that you're supporting, that are looking to you. Like, this is plan A. There is no plan B, because I've seen it too many times, and I'm sure you're going to see it, or you've seen it already, when these people are half-assing and they're in and they're out and they're in and they're out. And every time life gets hard, this is what they put on the back burner. And you know who's losing out because of that is all of the people that trusted and invested in them. All right, that are looking to them to lead them. All right, your team is losing out. Like, you know, they're missing out because of you constantly putting this on the back burner. All right, so get rid of your plan B. That was one of the things that, like, even when I was working full time as a nurse, it was like there is no other option. I committed to this, and this is happening. And then getting myself a routine was probably one of the best things I ever did. I am not a morning person normally. Like, I think being a nurse, I got used to waking up early, but even then I still would wake up, you know, just enough time to eat breakfast and to give myself enough time to shower and like out the door. But when I started coaching, I realized like my morning was the only time I had to myself all day long. And so that's when I realized, like, you know, I can't cut into my family time. I never know when I'm going to get out of work. All of these things are so unpredictable and out of my control. But when I get out of bed in the morning and getting my business building activities, aka inviting those frog activities out of the way first thing before I walk out the door in the morning, that I can control. So I had to get myself this morning routine where I poured into myself. I always made time to meditate and give myself some quiet time to myself to get my workout in. But guaranteed, before I left the house every morning, I made sure my invites and follow-ups were at least done. Everything else you can fit in pockets of time. But getting those frogs, that frog for me, and it still is to this day, you guys, that's my frog. Getting that done first thing, and when I'm in the best mindset that it can possibly be before any shit hits the fan, that is what helped me the most, okay? And then obviously personal development, because you guys, we do get in our heads. Things do happen in our lives, and we do kind of end up blending and letting our ego take over. And that's a constant battle, but that's where the personal development is so vital. Because if you are getting tons of no's, or if you are having not getting a bunch of responses, it is so easy for your ego to switch on and tell you that it's you, and that it's that you're just not doing it right, or you're not good at this, or blah, 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 whatever your thing is. But like, that is why I treat personal development in my, like, that morning routine and personal development. I would listen to it in the car. I would listen to it on my lunch break if I needed to. And then on the way home, I was constantly consuming it because I knew that it was the only thing that was going to keep me in the right headspace. Right? So we don't know what we don't know. And that's why you need personal development, to work through those self-limiting beliefs. And then, like I said, just be relentless. Like, if people have not responded to you, but they are still watching you and following you or on your stories, blah, 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 if they are still there, then you never give up. Period. I can't even tell you how many coaches of mine were coaches that watched me for at least 6 to 9 months, ghosted me over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And sometimes it was the dancing girl emoji. And that got them to open up, and then the conversation started, and boom, they were in. And you guys, you just have to remember, like, yes, sometimes the people that you think were really quick to sign up, honestly, they might have been just those creepers that you never even knew that were even watching your stories or even were watching your page. Like me, I used to dip in and out. Like, I used to never follow anyone, but I would creep on them daily. I had this routine of people that I would go and I'd check in on their page, and I would watch their whole life. but they probably never even knew I was there. And how many times, like, do you think that that's probably likely happening, right? So there's people that have come out of the woodwork. I'm like, I didn't even know you were a follower of mine. I didn't even know you were watching my stuff. And they were like, I've been watching you for a while. And so you have to be, goes back to the consistency factor. We have to be consistent, but then you also have to be the relentless one. You are 2 steps ahead of these people that have started, that haven't started yet. You know better. You know what it's like to be where they're at, and you also know what it's like to be on the other side. So you have to have the courage to never give up. You have to have the courage to do the reach outs, the connections, the invites. Okay. All right. And so there's a lot of like things that I think we also like kind of, again, it's our ego, and we just sort of, we get over this. We obviously start and we start coaching and things like that, but I still think there's like beliefs that we still don't let go of that hold us back, right? Like the idea that we're a saleswoman. Like, you're not a saleswoman, you guys. Like, we literally transform lives from the inside out. You know this because you've experienced it yourself. All right. And the fact of not sharing this is just like, again, we forget this. Like, if you were, that's like, if you had, say, for example, I'm going to say, like, if I was really struggling like with depression, or I was really struggling with anxiety, and I found this incredible, counselor, or maybe I found this meditation that really, really, really helped me. But then I had this girlfriend that I knew also struggled with anxiety. And I just like, kind of like, well, I'm not going to tell her because, well, I don't want her to go, I don't know. I don't want her to go see my girl. Like, I don't want to, or maybe she'll judge me because like I struggle with anxiety and she doesn't know it. You guys, you got to think of it like that. Or like, if you found this really amazing, like, pair of jeans that are, I don't even know. That's not kind of how I think. I think more of like in the sensitive side of things is like, I know I have something that could change someone's life and I'm not sharing it, then that's on me. That I'm the selfish one in that scenario. Okay. So you have to think about it like that. Like, you're just withholding like gold and you aren't sharing it. So like, you kind of have to put yourself in that mindset. All right. And so
Amy, can I interrupt you real quick? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you have slides?
Are you not seeing these?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Click and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're supposed to have slides. I didn't even think.
Hold on. Let me share. Wow, that's embarrassing.
No.
It really is though.
It's okay. Now we understand how you are friends with Ashley.
Oh, wow. True. Let's see.
There it is.
You see this? Yay! Oh my God, so embarrassing. Well, you're gonna get this slideshow, so there you go.
All right.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, you got to be the sign, you guys, because like, for example, like if my coach hadn't like my coach reached out was honestly like the most perfect time. Like, she reached out just at the time I had, obviously had my private Fitstagram and all this stuff. And I was just about to go join a gym when and I'd been invited before, but she invited me. And that was like the final, that was it. That was like the sign I needed, that like I didn't need to just go back to the gym and give up and all these things when I knew it wasn't the right fit. You have to be that sign for someone else, okay? Like, we are all scared to ask. So you also have to know that people are not always going to reach out to you. And yes, people are going to ghost you and ghost you and ghost you and ghost you, because we are all just scared beings. Like, we really are. If you can just like think back to before you started, like, were you that person? How long did it take you to say yes? How long did you watch before, you finally responded? Or maybe you did reach out, or before you had the courage to like a photo, you know what I mean? Like, how long did it take you? And put yourself constantly back in that mindset. All right. And then if you don't, and this has happened to me too, if you don't reach out, if you aren't relentless, if you don't just get so super consistent with your inviting, then someone else might get them when it's the right time. Sometimes it literally, you guys, like, again, it's not about you. it literally can just be like my coach, like there wasn't anything particularly like that made her more special than any other coach. It was just that she was in my inbox at the right time. You know what I mean? So, and don't just focus on being motivational, you guys. Like, you can't just think, oh, well, I'm showing up every day, I'm posting every day, I'm on my stories, like I'm telling them to reach out to me and they're not reaching out to me. You guys, like, you can't just do verbal call to actions, and you can't just, be motivational. And this was something that I realized too. It was like, I can't just throw up the post. I can't just, share. I've got to do the behind the scenes work, because that's really where it happens. Okay. And that's really what's going to move you forward. And that's what's going to get you paid. I hate to say it, but that's true. All right. So just some more tough love. If you guys can't tell, I'm pretty tough lovey. No one's going to respond. This is where it leads into with the consistency. No one's going to respond if you aren't showing up every day. That's where we get a bad rap. That's where network marketing, I think, gets a really bad rap, is the people that aren't showing up and providing value, that aren't showing up and, proving to others that they are doing this themselves, and that they, you're talking about what you're inviting to, where it's all blending. That's when things get salesy. Because like, I've known a lot of my coaches that will do invites, but they don't post every day. They're not consistent with being on their stories. So it's like, what are you even inviting to? People don't even understand. It doesn't make sense. That's where it feels salesy, because it doesn't match up. Like the storefront doesn't match the sales, not sales, the customer service or whatever. You know what I mean? So if you are posting consistently and you're being really authentic, you're being you, then what you being you in your DMs is going to mesh. It's all going to blend. Okay. You don't need to have your transformation already. You don't need to be super experienced at this. You don't need to have all the answers. And honestly, like, this is something that I get really tripped up in, is feeling like I have to have the perfect caption, or like, it's my picture and it's the aesthetic. Like, it's, maybe that's not, like, I get in my head, like, it's not good enough. And you really don't need to be like everyone else, you guys. Like, you just need to be you. And that's honestly, like, it might be slow traction in the beginning, but it's going to spread like wildfire over time. Like, the more you show up, I promise you, the more you're going to find your people, and the more people are going to love you for being so you, for being so different and unique. Okay. So when it gets down to it, you guys, like, you just got to take action. All right. Ninja action. Just be a ninja. Don't think. Just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you haven't read Mel Robbins' 5-second rule, you really should. And just send the freaking invite. Okay. No one's going to die. You're not going to fail at this. And you are in control. This is your business. Okay. No one can do this for you. And at the end of the day, if you don't succeed, if you don't get where you want to go someday, because the only way you won't get there is if you quit. And if you do quit, or if you aren't consistent, then that's all on you. Okay. So, and you don't want to be that girl that's living off commissions. You don't want to be that person that is just, I don't know, living on, trying to, like, just hit Success Club every, Success Club 6 every month, or, doing stuff here and there, but not being really consistent with it. So you aren't, attracting your people, and you're not proving to the people that you are helping, like, your current customers and discount coaches, you're not showing them just how doable this really is. All right. You're not being that beacon for them to start seeing that they can do this too. Okay. And that's not going to grow your business, right? We can only expect our coaches or future coaches to do what we already do ourselves. Okay. So fall in love with your routine. That's my best advice. Get yourself a routine. If it's a morning routine, maybe you have an evening routine. Obviously, I'm not a mom yet, so I can't speak to that. I can only speak to working full time, and I can only speak to what I do right now. But my morning routine still is in control. My morning routine still to this day. like that is when I am at my best. That is what I need to do every single day. I still get up at 5 a.m. every single day, and I spend that first hour getting my mindset right and pouring into my personal development. And my first thing I do after that is my invites. Okay. So whether you are a meditator like me and that really helps you, or you do a Bible study, or I really like YouTube videos. Like I really like to like listen to like Gabrielle Bernstein or something like that, or, you know, whatever it is for you, like get yourself in a really fun, happy mindset. You know, maybe it's music. Sometimes I listen to music while I'm sending my invites, but just let your personality come through. Let your energy come through. Okay. That's what's going to be attractive and that connector with other people. I also use emojis. Okay. And I also try not to do exclamation point after every single sentence, because I definitely can do that sometimes if I'm not careful. But you just have to be like a normal human in a way, you know, speak how you would normally speak. All right. If you really aren't a super energetic person, then sending a super energetic, you know, invite isn't going to connect. Okay. So just little subtle tweaks like that. Sometimes you guys, maybe you're just using too many exclamation points and it's sort of just like, whoa, okay, this woman has a lot of like energy. Okay. Because if you're not like that and that's not what you're trying to attract, then it's not really going to connect with your people. And they might be your person, but they might just be turned off by you not being you. Okay. And then just, you know, show up confident. All right. It's this blend of like when you're so secure and you're so centered and just feeling good about who you are and where you're at and what you're doing, that's confidence. It's not just, you know, joy and happiness and fun, but it's also confidence. Okay. And that's what people are craving, right? Like I craved confidence. So seeing, you know, my coach, you know, showing up and doing the things and putting herself in her, you know, owning her life and reaching all these milestones and like getting outside her comfort zone, that was huge to me because that's what I craved. That's why we watch coaches. That's why people creep on you. It's because you have this confidence factor that they don't have. You're living outside the box that they are in and they want out. Okay. So these are just a couple examples that I wanted to share with you. Like I am someone, and I will tell you this, I used to word vomit. I'm talking like invites, like paragraph, like long, like you couldn't even, you had to scroll down in order to read the whole thing. I'm a firm believer that that's not really good. Like I try to invite how I want to be invited. And yes, I want people to understand me. And I used to get in this mindset, well, if I don't explain myself, well, then they won't know that I'm not salesy. You guys, if you're doing all the things I told you to do, if you're showing up authentically and you're giving value and you're talking about your boot camp and you're talking about what you do behind the scenes in your stories, it's all going to connect. You don't need to over explain because you're already showing up and showing them. All right. So I try to keep it really short and sweet. And so when I say love, I will tell you that most of the time I will copy and paste the name in. I like to try and make it as individualized as I can. So usually this is just an example because I didn't put in a name. But like, you know, I always like to thank them. And I just wanted, and I keep it brief. Like, you know, I just wanted to see if you're interested in learning more about my boot camp or the coaching opportunity. And that's usually in response to like a post I made. I'll usually like send that if the post especially was talking about coaching. I like to do boot camp or the coaching opportunity because sometimes it's both, you guys. Sometimes it's like they're intrigued about the coaching aspect, but obviously they like know like I do the fitness side and like they need both. So, or it's sort of just an easy way to throw in the coaching thing and maybe they haven't thought about it yet, but then it creates that curiosity. And I always, always, always end it with an out. I always say either way, no worries, just let me know. And if you have questions, like I always want to let them know that there is I'm not attached to either outcome. Like either way, it's all good. I just want to know, like, if you have any questions or I'm going to, you know, like giving them the okay to reach back out to me, even if they don't want to do it. Like I'm cool with a no. Right. So I'll send these to you guys I'm gonna send this PowerPoint to Ashley. But then again, like if someone's watching my stories, like to create some sort of sense of urgency, sometimes I do that too, especially if you guys are doing, like, I like to every month when I'm in that enrollment period for my boot camp, I like to create the poll, like, or not the poll, I like to create the list as people are added to the list. You know, you keep updating it and it just kind of like puts that out there to people. I'll tag people in it like that, say that they're going to sign up, sort of put a little bit of pressure on them. And just show them like, oh, more spots are filling up. So sometimes I'll invite off of that story and be like, hey, like, you know, I've opened up a few more spots. I wanted to see if you wanted to join us. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? Or do you have any questions for me? And so that's, again, a way to like let them know, like obviously, like people are signing up. People are like, I want to make sure that you got a chance to do this with us. Like, does that sound like something you'd be interested in? So it creates a little bit of sense of urgency, but also makes them feel a little bit special, okay? Without, obviously, like, you're not lying, but you're also just kind of maybe fibbing a little bit. So, and then obviously call to actions. So again, your invites also matching what you're posting. So making sure that, yes, you're providing value, you're letting people get to know you, you're being really consistent, but when you also need to throw in some of those call to actions, and call to actions can be call to thanks, call to I forget, there's call to action, call to think, and call to do, or something like that. I don't know. But basically, like when I say call to actions, it's not necessarily like, you know, fill out the link in my bio or something like that. It's meant to just sort of get them already thinking and about what it is you're offering. Right? So getting them in the mindset of already thinking like, you know, if you're someone that, you know, struggles with just caring what other people think too much, and you've always kind of felt held back from that, then, you know, maybe it's time to like do something different, sort of like that, right? You want to get them thinking and sort of like putting it back on them to like, if you need a change, it's time to make it like do something different. So then when you're inviting them, right, and you're inviting them to your boot camp or you're inviting them to the coaching opportunity, then it all gems, right? Because they can tell that that's what you're about. You're about transforming lives. And whether that's through the boat, you know, your fitness and health and wellness and all of that, but or in additionally like through coaching, like, then it makes sense that that's what you are and that's what you offer and that's what you do. Okay. So I think that's all I had, but I just wanted to end it with understanding that, you know, this is marketing. All of this, you know, inviting, posting, all of that, that is all just marketing. And when you can sort of like take it and understand that this all falls under this marketing umbrella, it almost gives you like, guys, take the load off yourself. This was something that I did. Like, it is not something that everyone knows how to do, right? It's something you're going to have to learn over time and get good at. And the only way to get good at it is through consistency. You know, like, I didn't go to school for marketing. I don't know about you, right? Did you go to college for marketing? No, I went to school for nursing. So why would you beat yourself up like if you're not like amazing at, you know, one thing or the other right now? You know, you don't need to be, but you also need to just give yourself some grace and just, again, commit that there is no plan B, and just commit to finding things out, finding what works for you, trying different things and doing it until it works. Okay. So quality matters, what you're posting, your caption, all that matters. As long, you know, the number one rule is that it's authentically you, right? Sharing of value, you know, talking about your story, bits and pieces of your story, you know, letting people get to know you. You know, don't use the same pose or location, have fun, switch it up, get a preset. I highly suggest that. And just, you know, be you. Like I said, don't be like everybody else. That was something I used to do a lot, and it's something I really am very diligent about not doing now, is going to look at other people's pages and like starting to compare myself, you know, or trying to like mimic exactly what they're doing. Success does leave clues, you guys. But at the end of the day, they got there by being them. So the only way you're really going to mimic that kind of success is if you, again, keep showing up, but be you, right? Keep doing the things. They're not doing anything differently, probably. You guys are just inviting, and they're just being consistent, and they're being consistent about their message. So do that for yourself, okay? And then another little just tidbit is that even if you're not feeling like the greatest, just sometimes it's the smile that at least will get someone to stop and then again read what you're saying. So there's times where I've been going through something really hard, and obviously like I might have been crying or something like that, or I'm like just, obviously I'm not feeling joyous, but I have this message I want to share. There's something strong in my heart that I want to talk about. That's why I would, encourage you to always be smiling, at least in your photo, like not a full-on smile, just like a smile, okay? Just to draw those people in. And then obviously good lighting, huge. I live in a very dark house, so I have tons of I have this ring light, and I try to take a lot of photos near a window or outside just to get past that. But those are just some of my tips, and that's it.
Well, thank you, lady. That was amazing.
Yay! I'm glad.
I hope it was helpful.
There we go. Okay. Where am I? Yeah, that was perfect. That was, I think, a lot of really, really amazing tips, and very, very helpful, I think, at any stage in coaching. So thank you for sharing what's on your heart and sharing. I wanted to share real quick. So Amy didn't really have, you had an upline for a little bit, but then your upline quit, and you're several levels down in Deidre's downline. And you hit 2-star, was it 2-star? And or 1-star, and Deidre was like, who is this 1-star coach on our team that is doing all these amazing things? And then Deidre reached out to you. So Amy has built her business with little to no upline support. No, I think you were in the dream team page, but you just didn't have any
I didn't have any one-on-one.
Yeah. And I just thought that was amazing, because I remember Deidre being like, oh my gosh, there's this girl, Amy, that you have to meet. And I'm like, who, and she's like, she's just in our downline. I don't know where she came from. She's just rocking her business in our downline somewhere. So I just thought that was really cool, because, I think being a part of the dream team, we are so very blessed to have all these great trainings and resources and things like that, which are great. But you don't have to have a perfect system to build a good business. You can certainly, like Amy said, there's no plan B. Make this your plan and then do it. And put your blinders on, laser focus, and what are you going to do every day to show up to grow your business? So I think we just had a couple questions. Amy, let me just dive in. I know at some point, okay, Amanda said, how often are you messaging them? Amanda, did you want to clarify?
Yeah, so the people that are watching you, you say you switch it up, you'll message them and then do a voice and then do a video. How often are you going back and re-messaging those people?
So if it's in the period of time that I'm enrolling, I'm really publicly enrolling into my boot camp, if I notice that they're reading my stuff and not responding, every 48 hours will touch back with them.
Okay.
I will do that. And then if I'm shifting more into coaching, I will kind of give them 1 to 2 weeks, because then I'll start trying re-enrolling for my boot camp again. So then I'll touch back with those people. But if they're liking my coaching posts and things like that, again, because I'm inviting more to coaching, I might touch back with them again, depending on that. If they're just continuing to really engage with me, then I'm going to engage with them. So I really, that's something I share with my coaches is because I think a lot of times that they just see that people are reading stuff and they feel like that's it. Like, oh, well, they just aren't responding. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you keep reaching out. Like, you don't stop, you know? So yeah. That's what
I know another one of the girls on our team the other day had asked kind of a similar question. Like, I guess following up, you know, like do you typically follow up in like 48 hours, but is that a monthly thing that you're doing? Like you're going back?
I always am in, sorry, I'm on the move because I got to get out of here in a couple minutes. I think it's pretty, I make it very public that I usually am enrolling like the last week of the month and the first week of the month for my boot camp. So, cause I have an open enrollment. Like I don't ever stop inviting. I mean, like if people would join, like I don't really have a start date to my boot camp. Like it's just constant open enrollment, but to the public, I have enrollment periods. So I'm always, very public about that. So that way, like, and I don't want to, and I want my invites to match that. Like, so that's why I said, like, if someone is reading my stuff and just not responding to me in those 2-week period, and then eventually like the 2-week period of enrollment is sort of passing, I'll kind of like back off unless they re-engage with me, you know, like I won't, that way that then they just kind of go on my follow-up list for the next month.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? I know Keisha had said, yes, I think I care what people think too much. It really hinders me. I need to get over myself. Girl, you know it. You said it. You know it.
Join the club. I would say that like, then I don't really know. I would say that the commitment piece is what helps me the most with that. I would say like once I really realized like that I didn't have a plan B, I just think a lot of like why I was caring so much just kind of went away because I knew like I don't want anyone else's life. And like I'm in this for so much more. And just because they can't see that, it isn't on me. You know what I mean? So I would just definitely say that helped with my confidence factor because it just gave me more like a leg to stand on because like I feel like when you're kind of wishy-washy, then your emotions are wishy-washy and you're just way more like receptive like to other people's opinions. But when you're just you guys know, like nursing school, like I was graduating nursing school, like failure wasn't an option. It's like when you come into this with the same mindset, like there is no option to quit, like this is happening, then you just kind of get a little bit thicker skin over time. It just builds that layer of like protection. Obviously we're all human. Obviously I still have an ego. Obviously I still do care what people think. It's just like I'm getting like a quicker rebound time, you know, like where I'm getting faster at getting back to the place of not really caring, right? Or like I let them in a little bit and like I'm like, okay, I recognize that like obviously I'm just more sensitive right now for XYZ. Let me go work on that. Boom. Like let's move on, you know? So yeah, I would say like if you are struggling with a lot with what people think, and it's probably coming back to like where your belief is at about yourself in this business.
Awesome.
Okay.
Anybody have any other questions? I know Amy's got to run. I can send them to you.
Okay. And I'm going to email you the PowerPoint.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for taking the time.
Bye, guys.
Appreciate it. Bye. All right, y'all. So I will get this call uploaded and posted. And then once I get those PowerPoints and everything else, I will put those in the team page as well. Before we jump off, does anybody have anything they want to share for this week? Any past victories? I will just say real quick, like I have been scrolling through, I've been creeping on all of you. And I think like the posts that everyone has been putting out this week, like are just amazing. Like, I feel like we are just really like doing the things. And I don't mean like doing like all the things. Like, I mean, like you're like showing up, like you're being yourself, you're being authentic, like you're sharing your life, you're sharing what's on your heart. I think that's so very important. And I feel like I just feel so much more connected, like with everyone else when we like, you know, just share the ups and downs and the hard stuff. And like, we lean in and I feel like, you know, maybe it's because we're approaching like Thanksgiving and I'm feeling all gratitude-y and stuff, but I just really gratitude-y. I just feel really grateful that like we have such an amazing team of women who support each other, you know, privately and publicly, and who show up for each other, and like who know how challenging it is to do the day-to-day things, but still, you know, like we do them because we know that it makes us a better human, and it makes us a better parent, and it makes us, you know, a better wife or anything like that. Like you prioritize yourself, and you share that you prioritize yourself. And it's really important because other people see that, and where you may not hear it every day, where you may not have 10 people in your inbox saying, oh my gosh, you're such an inspiration to me. Or you may not run into that random person at Target that says that. Like you are doing it, and you're an inspiration for other people. So, so great call today. I'm really, really pleased with, nuggets.
I'm sorry, she agrees.
Maven is really, really happy. But does anybody have anything they want to share before we jump off? A big shout out to Amanda for finishing Morning Meltdown 100.
Well, you finished, Amanda? Yay.
Yeah, Julie and I finished this morning together. And then next Saturday, if anyone wants to, we're both logging on and doing Workout 100 again with Sarah. So if anyone who wants to do it, more than welcome to join us. So.
When is that?
It was hard. It was really, really hard.
Did you say you're doing that next Saturday?
Yeah. I told Sarah I'd log on and do it again with her.
Nice.
So, and I think Julie said she would too.
Yet,
so
I could try to get there, but I'm just not ready.
I might.
Did you do all the revibes and the freestyle flows?
No, I quit that around day 40.
Yeah, I'm at 78, and I'm like, I just don't know if I like sort of fast forwarded through revive the other day just because I did need to stretch a little, but I was just really not feeling. I feel like I'm still ready for something else right now, that like doing those just seems like nails on a chalkboard.
That's where I was at. And we were talking about it this morning after our workouts. And I said, I'm glad that because at 80, I wanted to quit. I didn't want to do it anymore. But then now that I finished and I look back, I'm glad I didn't quit, but I'm also glad I took out the stretching ones, because for me, it's more of like a mental clarity. Like I need to crush a workout in the morning, or the rest of my day is just, it's done. Like
that's how I feel too. And like, I don't know, maybe I said it in our message thread the other day, but like, I have weight to lose. Like I have weight to lose, you know? And sometimes I'm doing these workouts and I'm barely breaking a sweat. I'm like, I need to be doing like something serious that's going to really like, I don't know if it's more cardio or what, but like, I
shared my results with them because we were all going to make like a post about how we all came together like on our last days and we were this many miles apart, whatever. My results aren't stellar, but I have clearly lost it around my waist, and like my face is different, but the rest of my body, like my arms and my legs, there's not a massive change.
It's just not a lot of like weighted workouts, you know, like, I mean, and I think maybe that's why I was having such a hard time with it, because I needed to slow my body down, and it just felt like it was too much movement for me.
And I think it's probably like a really great like beginner program, because it does have like the level intensity increases. But I think if you've been working out for so long that maybe, and you know what you like, it's going to be a hard program, because I know what I like. Like I need weights and I need like intense. And I felt like her stuff was almost too fast for me. And it was more cardio on some days. Like the cardio was really hard.
I do like the MeltCon days.
Yeah.
Just like fast with the weights. I like that. there's a lot of stuff I like about it. I just think I'm ready for like a change.
And
You know
I think
what I
I
mean? Like,
liked
feel
it
like,
too, but the 100 was so long. Like it was a
yeah, I feel like
mental
my
thing.
body has like just gotten used to this, and so there's nothing's happening anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't
I don't know
know.
if
Like I'm
I don't
glad
know
I
if
did
that's
it, but I'm
true.
also really glad I'm not doing it anymore.
What are you going to do next?
So I think I'm going to do lift 4 with no rest days, like just the workouts in a row. And then the 20 or the 19th, hold on, what days are in November? Like the 3rd week in November. The 18th, we're going to start the work. That way we finish, like that's exactly 6 weeks from the end of the year. So
Good plan.
I got to get some Joel back in my life. I feel like I miss him too much.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go do lift 4. I feel like crap, but like I feel like if I sweat a little bit, then like I'll feel a
Get
little
some
better.
of those toxins out.
Yeah.
The
And
sticky toxins.
yeah. So